And you'll notice that I brought in all of those ash beams. I brought them in, I actually cut one up, didn't make a video of it. I will next time. I only cut one up just to see what it was about. You see my electrical connection there. So let's go in and see what's happening. I've been getting a lot of work done in the barn, luckily. I've been working on insulation. It is a mess in here. As you can see, I got a lot of insulation laying around. That's where I do all the cutting to length right there. And I have stuff moved away from the walls. There's my lathe that I haven't even hooked up yet. Let's get the lights on. First thing I do when I come out here is I turn on the heater. So I connected up a heater on 240 volts. You see a double breaker there. And I installed that heater up there. It's a Fahrenheit 524. And I need to look at the wiring because it's not blowing out enough heat right now. Although it does work pretty well. Over time, it'll heat the place up. At least make it workable. And all my lights under here are still, I have to plug them in, which, you know, is one of the things on the list is to make that more like a switch type connection, which I don't have done yet. But I got these three that light the place up pretty well. Plus my transom window up there, which is nice. I have another one back there, but the loft kind of covers it up, and all the wood is kind of a mess up there. Again, I moved everything back from the ceiling, and I've got all the insulation done on the ceiling, the vaulted ceiling all the way up, except for the very top. Now I left two of those places undone. I'm gonna actually run that wire. I'm going to connect a thermostat and put it on the wall down here from that wire. So I left that open for now. Those two bats right there. Those are two 10-foot bats. Yep, those will be in those spaces right there. I got them all done, all the way to the top. But the very top, the crown up there, I'm going to run some sort of a box or some kind of a ledge up there where I can just lift probably some plywood long planks and just kind of set them into a groove. I gotta set up in there, or some notches. Anyway, I got to get that covered because that's all the heat will eventually seep right up to the top and go out. But spent all day yesterday. I actually got one more light to plug in here so you can see better. I have lots of work to do here, lots of things to keep me busy and things to do on the list here. But I prioritized insulation, so I spent all day, well, not all day, but 4 or 5 hours yesterday getting insulation put in all the way along the wall, getting the walls insulated, and I had to cut around some of the outlets and of course the breaker box. And then, around that window, the bottom piece of the window there. But yeah, it works out pretty good. It works out real good. And learning as I'm going along. I got a bunch of rolls here. Got 5 more left. My cutting area. So I'll roll it out, and depending on how long I need it, I just leave the tape measure out, and then I move that little piece of wood right there to wherever I'm going to cut, and take my cutter and right along that piece of wood. Don't mess up my wood floor, and off I go. Anyway, you notice those right there. That's what started this whole thing. So the Bidwell barn boats project started because I was in the basement of the house cutting these station forms out for, it's about a 10.5-foot dinghy that I'm gonna build. So these are the different station forms for the I gotta set the strong back up, set it up. It's called a strong back. And when this is set up, you'll see the form of the boat at least the hull of the boat on the strong back, and that's how you build the hull over the frames there. Anyway, so oh, and these are the beams that were outside, so they've been sitting in here for a few weeks now, and they are certainly drying out better. Here's the one that I took the chainsaw to. I cut it this way with the chainsaw all the way across here, and then I was able to put it on my table saw and cut it again right here. So cut it in half from there. Again, I'll make a video of that chainsaw mill. Works really good, and you can see it cut up a pretty flat section, so not bad. I like the chainsaw mill. It's handy. So I've got 7 or 8 more of those, and again, the plan is to build a no kidding woodworker's bench, out of that ash, and I think it'll work out really well. Not sure what I'm going to do the bench top. I'm probably going to do maple in the bench top, but for the framing and the legs and all that, I'm going to use the ash. It's a really good piece of wood. Oh, here's the other piece I cut off. So there's the piece I cut off of the top, and again, it's nice and flat. The chainsaw mill does a great job. If you just take your time with the mill, it'll cut a nice flat piece, and that'll be very handy. That's a good piece of wood right there. It's all solid ash, beam wood. So very happy with that. Anyway, I got some work